Imagine walking down a busy street. On your left, a street performer juggles flaming torches. On your right, a preacher warns about the end of days. Above your head, neon billboards flash promises of eternal youth, faster cars, and cheeseburgers that look suspiciously better than in real life. You think you're choosing what to look at, but in truth, all of them are competing for one thing: your attention. Tim Wu's The Attention Merchants is about this battle for your gaze, but it's not just about ads or clickbait headlines. It's about a 100-year-long campaign to seize, package, and sell your consciousness to the highest bidder. Wu doesn't present this as a conspiracy theory. It's a business model, one that has evolved from the penny press of the 1800s to the dopamine drip notifications of Instagram. This isn't just history. It's a mirror held up to our own habits. Wu's writing makes you notice the tiny reflex of checking your phone when you hear a buzz. He makes you realize that this reflex wasn't born inside you, it was carefully engineered. Chapter 1: The First Great Bargain. Free content for your soul. Our story begins in the late 19th century when newspaper owners discovered something revolutionary. If you made the news sensational enough, you could sell it cheap, even give it away, and still make a fortune. The real money came not from readers, but from advertisers desperate to get their products into those readers' heads. Enter the yellow press. Publishers like Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst learned that scandal, celebrity gossip, and shocking crimes kept people coming back. It didn't matter if the headlines were entirely accurate, they just had to be irresistible. In a way, it was the first version of the deal we all make today: we'll entertain you for free, you'll look at our ads. Wu points out something fascinating here. The merchants of attention weren't just selling soap and tonic water. They were selling influence. Politicians, too, learned to play the game, understanding that whoever controlled the headlines controlled public opinion. Chapter 2: Snake Oil and the Art of the Spectacle. If you think influencer marketing is a new thing, let Wu take you back to the traveling medicine shows. Picture a man in a bright suit standing on a wooden stage in a dusty town square. He promises his elixir will cure everything from baldness to heartbreak. His helpers work the crowd, telling miraculous stories. People line up to buy bottles of what is basically flavored alcohol. The genius wasn't in the product, it was in the performance. These shows were early masters of capturing attention, creating urgency, and making you believe you couldn't live without their miracle cure. The spectacle was the ad was the product, and the audience was happily complicit. Wu sees these early hucksters as the great-grandfathers of today's viral marketing campaigns. The methods have changed, but the principle hasn't. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Chapter 3: Radio. The voice in your living room. Then came radio, and suddenly the merchants didn't have to come to you. They could enter your home uninvited, every night for free. At first, radio was commercial-free, seen as a public good. But that didn't last. Advertisers quickly realized that instead of interrupting with ads, they could be the entertainment. Soap companies sponsored radio dramas, and yes, that's where soap opera comes from. Cereal companies funded kids' adventure programs. The content and the commercial were blended into one seamless experience. Wu is brilliant at showing how radio changed the rhythm of life. Families would gather at a specific time to hear their favorite shows, a collective habit shaped entirely by the broadcasting schedule. This wasn't just about selling products, it was about shaping culture. Governments noticed too. Franklin D. Roosevelt used radio to deliver his fireside chats, forging a personal connection with millions. Meanwhile, in Germany, the Nazis mastered the art of political propaganda via radio. Wu reminds us that the same tools that sell soap can sell ideology. 4: Television. The golden idol. If radio was a dinner guest, television was a new family member, one that talked a lot and always wanted your attention. Television didn't just add pictures to sound, it made the sale more emotional, more visual, and more persuasive. Ads were no longer just interruptions, they were mini-movies. The Mad Men era perfected the idea that a product could represent your identity, your dreams, even your self-worth. Wu shows how television's business model locked us into a pattern. You get free entertainment, but you pay with your time and focus. Networks didn't care if the show was good. They cared if you stayed long enough for the commercial break. Ratings became the measure of value, and ratings were all about attention. By the mid-20th century, the attention economy wasn't an experiment anymore, it was the economy. Chapter 5: The Internet Arrives. A New Wild West. The early internet was chaos. GeoCities pages with flashing text, message boards full of conspiracy theories, email chains warning you about bad luck if you didn't forward them to 10 friends. There was no clear business model. Then, in the late 1990s and early 2000s, the merchants arrived. Google realized that search results could be monetized with tiny, relevant ads. Facebook discovered that the real gold was in knowing who you were, what you liked, and who you talked to. The old model of selling ads to a demographic gave way to selling ads to you specifically. And the targeting got creepily good. If TV was a fishing net, the internet was a spear gun aimed right at your brain. Wu explains that this precision came at a cost: our privacy. Every click, search, and pause became data, and that data became the fuel for a feedback loop designed to keep us online longer. Chapter 6: Social Media. The casino in your pocket. Wu doesn't mince words here. Social media is designed like a slot machine. Every refresh is a pull of the lever. Will there be a new like? A comment? A share? Your brain releases dopamine in little bursts and you keep coming back for more. The merchants don't care why you're there, only that you are. Outrage, cuteness, shock, validation. It's all just fuel to keep you scrolling. And the longer you stay, the more ads they can show you. Wu is careful not to paint this as pure villainy. Social media connects people, spreads information, and can mobilize movements. But the profit motive ensures that the system favors whatever grabs attention fastest, not what informs or benefits you most. Chapter 7: The Cost We Don't See. By now, Wu has shown us the machinery. But here's the gut punch. The real cost of the attention economy isn't just wasted time. It's the erosion of our ability to choose where our attention goes. If every moment of boredom is filled with content chosen for you, you never have to wander through your own thoughts. That might sound harmless, but over time, it changes how you think, how you focus, even how you relate to others. Wu warns that this constant capture of attention leaves us vulnerable, not just to ads but to manipulation. Political campaigns can target you with messages designed to push your emotional buttons, and you might not even realize it's happening. Final thoughts: reclaiming the fortress of the mind. By the time you close the attention merchants, you'll start noticing little things. How you instinctively reach for your phone when it's quiet, how hard it is to watch a show without checking another screen, how just 5 minutes online somehow becomes an hour. Wu doesn't demand that we go off the grid. Instead, he suggests that we become conscious consumers of our own attention. If you're getting something for free, ask yourself how you're paying for it, and whether the price is worth it. His central message is simple but powerful: attention is life. Where you direct it determines what you experience, who you become, and what kind of world you help create. The merchants will always be there, knocking on the door of your mind. The question is whether you answer without thinking. If you read this book, you might still scroll Instagram or binge Netflix, but you'll do it with a little more awareness, and maybe, just maybe, you'll start guarding your attention like the precious, non-renewable resource it is.